Jalen, you talk a lot about learning lessons from things on the field. Now that you've had a few weeks or a few months since the end of the season, what was maybe the biggest lesson you took from how that season ended?
I think everything in every situation, everything that we experience, obviously there is something that you can learn from it, and I think the importance of us just continue to navigate things together, stay together, the importance of the work, the foundation that we have for ourselves, um, and the culture that we live by. I think those things have kind of reinforced. I think those things have come up in terms of importance. And so, you have the off-season program, you have every individual in this building attacking different things to try and better themselves and help the team and understand, you get to a point where everybody's given a role and everybody's understanding their responsibility they hold for this team. And so just attacking that, but I think the number one thing is understanding the work comes first and everything.
As far as the coordinator change, how did you deal with that?
I'm sorry?
As far as the coordinator change, how did you personally deal with that and react to it?
Well, yeah, I think it's been a minute since we've spoken. I think Brian, I think the best of him. He's been a huge part of my development and my time here as an Eagle, it's been 3 years. It's been a starter for 3 years, right? Yeah, he's been a part of all of that, and so I'm going into the fourth year of that this year. It'll be great, but I think he's still more than capable of being a big time head coach in this league. I think he's on trajectory to do that still. I just didn't think it was the right time for him, and that's that.
What's your thoughts and relationship with Kellen Moore and Nussmeier? What are your thoughts about working with them?
Yeah, I'm excited to work with him. I know they have a history of doing really good things, and Coach Nuss recruited me to Florida back then, and when I was coming out of high school, so I have a pre-existing relationship with him. We're just all excited. I know they're kind of finalizing some of the things and crossing their T's and dotting their I's in terms of what it's exactly going to be. But I'm just all ears. I'm a sponge, and I think there's some beauty in that.
Have you been involved in that process as they kind of figure out what it's going to look like?
I'm just in sponge mode. I'm letting them do what it is they're going to do, and then we kind of adjust from there. I think the thing that we all have to understand is the importance of a foundation in something, and so I want the coaches to declare their foundation in terms of what they want something to be, how they want it to look, and then obviously you're gonna adjust from there. I think when that foundation isn't as strong as you want it to be, it may not, last as long or be as good in the end. And so that's something that we don't want to happen. So I'm just trusting the process in terms of what they're doing, what Coach Kellen is doing, Coach Doug and everyone. And I'm just being a player, trying to learn as much as I can. I think the one thing individually as a player, I've always had a desire for is just growth and development, and I think that's allowed me to have these opportunities I have now, being here at this place and just being able to continue and grow over the years of my career. And so that's what I desire to do, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to do that with our coaches.
Where were you when you found out about Saquon, and what was your reaction? What do you think he can do for the offense?
Yeah, I think he's a hell of a player. He's on this side now, so that's cool. And I think for him, even in the short time of us having OTAs, you hear about the type of person he is, the type of leader he is in a room, the energy he brings to a room, and that's something that you can appreciate, and that's something I appreciate already. Just us, competing in sprints, or competing on a squat rack or doing anything things like that, where we're challenging one another, those are the things that set the thermostat for what the team is supposed to follow, you know, and you know, everything we're talking about doing is just competing, and going through these moments together and experiencing these things together and really pushing one another. And so I think he's been great with that. I built a good relationship with him just in a short notice, and we'll continue to build on that.
Until
So you're
2022.
connecting with Saquon a little bit away from the facility already. How important was that for you to start that sort of relationship?
You know, I think that's very important. That's very important. I think that's very important for all of those guys. You know, taking the time and taking those moments to go out there and get the work in. You know, I think the actionable things on the field are so important because that's where you develop trust. That's where you develop that chemistry. And you know, like I said, I know for myself in a short notice what type of mentality he has, and we'll continue to just kind of develop what that looks like for us all together. You know, we have a ton of opportunity in front of us, but I think the most important thing is the mentality that the people have in the building, and so you want to go get people that have a sense of culture about themselves, have a mentality about themselves, and I think that's exactly what we're doing, you know.
Until 2022, you had never been in the same system for more than 1 year, dating back to high school, and you've expressed.
Sorry.
You just turned the audio on. So.
Sorry. Until 2022, you'd never been in the same system for more than 1 year, dating back to high school, and you expressed the importance of having some continuity. You're now having system change again. How are you viewing that in light of what you had said previously about having?
You know, I think as a player, I definitely yearn for the sustainability and the consistency there. As you know, a coach Stout serves for his offensive line room. As a quarterback, I yearn for those things in the play caller and the quarterback coach, because you kind of see how consistency in those areas can breed excellence, and his track record kind of shows for that. So that's definitely something that I desire. I find myself in a situation very similar to college in terms of having a constantly revolving thing and door in terms of coordinators and coaches, but I've always managed to have success in it. So that's always been a good thing, because you've been able to learn from people and apply it, and kind of take what applies to you. But in the end, I think that is important. We are where we are, but some of those things are kind of surface level in terms of what we can really accomplish, so I definitely do desire that consistency. And, when you go win, they're probably going to leave, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes. So I embrace all ends of it. I do desire that for sure.
Yeah.
And
You have to learn
that's what it is.
terminology.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. And I'm excited for that.
You've lost a lot of veteran leadership in Jason and Fletcher. Obviously, your position, by the nature of it, demands leadership, but do you feel an increased importance on that with no Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox?
I don't think you can replace a guy like that. But I think we got special guys here. And I think we're going to get, guys that have that sense of culture and mentality about themselves and that are truly hungry to go out there and go do great things. Coming from the OUs and the Alabamas, and you kind of look at where these guys have come from, where my teammates have come from. They come from places rich in mentality and culture and winning, and so that's what it's all about. You can get a group of like-minded men together, chasing the same goals and chasing the same things, and ultimately putting the work in. Special things will happen.
You said at the end of last year that different years
require different things from you and from everybody. What do you feel like you need to do different this year in that regard that, you know, to what you said?
You know, I think really, you know, really leaving it to no one else to set the culture and how I want it to be. Communicating that with everyone above, and communicating that with my teammates, and carrying it. You know, I have a standard I want to play to, and I want to play to that all the time. And so, in the end, the number one thing you're going to establish that with is with work. You know, and I think you never want to get caught, you know, chasing anything, you know, chasing a goal, chasing this dream. Like, we all going to have those. But just be where your feet are and work, you know, and I think that's exactly where we are right now in terms of, you know, what I'm on, and I know guys like AJ and Smitty and Saquon and Brandon Graham, and, you know, going down the list, everybody's on that, so everybody's eager, everybody's working, and, you know, we're just trying to build it.
Last one?
With Kelsey retiring, first, what was your reaction? And second, will you want to have a little more say in setting protections and in terms of what happens with blitz pickup?
Yeah, I think for Kels, you know, he pump faked us a couple times, and you know, he's had a great career. I think from my experience of playing with him, I've learned a lot from him for sure, and that's something that I'll use in the future. In terms of specifically getting into the nuances of what we do up front, I've always been eager to learn and apply some of those things that I've learned in the past and use them. Whether I'll be coached to or not, that's not up to my decision.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks,
We'll have
John.
Dallas.